Hello everyone, Merengue family. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on everything about Real Madrid. Jamal Musiala is getting closer and closer to Real Madrid, the new gem that excites Madridismo. In the world of football, there are names that not only shine for their quality, but also generate unique expectations for what they represent for future. One of those names is Jamal Musiala, the pearl of German football, who is increasingly linked to the Santiago Bernabeu. The 21-year-old talent, an undisputed figure of Bayern Munich and one of the most promising footballers in the world, is closer than ever to fulfilling one of his great dreams, wearing the white jersey. This is not just a simple market rumor. For months, the name Musiala has gained prominence in the offices of the White Club. It is no coincidence that President Florentino Perez, always with an eye on the future, has closely followed the evolution of the German attacking midfielder since he burst onto the Bundesliga scene. Today, everything indicates that this monitoring could turn into a historic operation. Real Madrid is at a crucial moment in its sports planning, with Luka Modric's retirement on the horizon, a legend who has left an indelible mark on the club's history, and the real possibility that Aurelien Tchouameni will be transferred to Arsenal for a figure close to 70 million euros. This opens up a perfect scenario for an ambitious operation, and there is no name that excites the white sports management more than that of Musiala. Jamal is not just a promise. He is a reality. His quality, tactical intelligence, vision of the game, and ability to decide matches with a single play make him a different footballer. He has the ideal profile to succeed in Madrid. Young, talented, disciplined, and hungry for glory. Moreover, he has shown to have the personality to stand out in big scenarios, as he has done in Germany and with the national team. But what really makes this operation make sense is the player's own desire. According to sources close to his environment, Musiala has expressed his admiration for Real Madrid on more than one occasion. Since he was a child, he has felt a special attraction for the club's history, its magical Champions League nights, and the legends who have worn its jersey. For him, playing at the Santiago Bernabeu is not just a professional possibility. It is a personal dream. This predisposition of the player has been key for the White Club to advance firmly. Florentino Perez, who rarely goes for a signing without being sure of the ground he is stepping on, has received positive signals from Munich. Bayern, although reluctant, knows that retaining Musiala will become increasingly complicated. The renewal he recently signed was, according to various sources, a strategic maneuver not to lose market value, but in no way guarantees his long-term stay. In fact, the Bavarians already have reports confirming Real Madrid's interest. Far from closing ranks, they view the possibility of an operation in which players like Tchouameni or even other asset of interest in the Bundesliga could be included. The good institutional relationship between both clubs would also facilitate the negotiations for the White Club. The operation is valued at around 90 million euros, a figure considered adequate given the talent, age, and potential of Musiala. It is a significant investment, yes, but one that fits perfectly with the model that the club has adopted in recent years, signing young stars who can mark an era in the Spanish capital. We have already seen it with Vinicius, Rodrigo, Camavinga, Bellingham, Endrick, and Arda Güler. The arrival of Musiala will be the icing on the cake of a young, ambitious project prepared to dominate Europe during the next decade. From a sporting point of view, Musiala would be a strategic addition. He can play as an attacking midfielder, winger, or even as a forward. His versatility allows him to adapt to multiple schemes, making him an invaluable resource for Carlo Ancelotti, who has already given the green light to his arrival. The Italian coach knows that losing Modric will leave a huge void, but is convinced that the German has everything to become his natural successor. Moreover, his understanding of the game, his ability to associate, and his unbalance in the final meters make him ideal to play alongside Bellingham, generating a duo that could mark an era. Imagine for a moment a midfield formed by Camavinga, Bellingham, and Musiala, with Valverde as an alternative. Youth talent, physicality, creativity, and goals. Few squads in Europe could boast of something similar. From an emotional point of view, this possible signing also represents a direct connection with the fans. Musiala is a player who captivates with his style of play, daring, vertical, with magic at his feet, and always with his head up. He is one of those footballers who arouse passion in the stands, who make people stand up from their seats. His arrival would mean a new illusion for Madridismo, a new star that embodies the values of the club. And that is why today, more than ever, the question arises, what do you think, Madridistas? Do you see Musiala as the great signing of the summer of 2025? Do you agree with investing a figure close to 90 million to secure a talent that can mark the next decade? The operation is underway. The pieces are starting to fit together. The club has economic space. The player wants to come, and the sports project is more attractive than ever. The sale of Tchouaméni, added to Madrid's retirement, not only frees up salary mass, but also key minutes in the midfield. And if there is one thing Real Madrid has shown, it is that it knows when and how to move to sign the best. Florentino Perez has a new mission, and as on so many occasions in the past, he seems to be one step ahead of everyone. The arrival of Musiala to the Santiago Bernabéu is not just a possibility. It is a master move that can mark the beginning of a new, glorious era. Because in Real Madrid, things are not improvised. They are planned, dreamed of, and above all won. And if there is a player who fits that philosophy, it is Jamal Musiala. The countdown has begun. But if there is one detail that excites Madridismo even more about the signing of Jamal Musiala, it is the firmness with which the young German has taken a clear stance on his future. Musiala has not only shown star performance on the field, but off the field. He has demonstrated maturity, conviction, and a deep desire to join the greatest club in football history. According to his closest circle, the talented attacking midfielder has already turned down very tempting offers from other European giants. Barcelona, Chelsea, and Paris Saint-Germain have pursued him insistently, but the answer has been the same. No, thank you. I want to play for Real Madrid. This decision, made in silence and with discretion, demonstrates something that many players feel but few express publicly. Real Madrid has a unique attraction, a history of greatness, and a shield that weighs more than any million-dollar figure. Barcelona, for example, had been following Musiala for a long time. Xavi and Hansi Flick saw him as the perfect piece for their reconstruction. Chelsea, the club where Musiala trained during his adolescence, dreamed of repatriating him as a symbol of a new era. And Paris Saint-Germain, as usual, was willing to break the market with an astronomical economic offer. But none of them managed to convince him. The reason? The player's heart already beats white. Musiala does not want to be just another player. He wants to write his story in the place where legends are born. He knows that the Santiago Bernabéu does not forgive, but he also knows that it is a scenario where the chosen ones transcend, and he feels prepared to take on that challenge. This attitude has not gone unnoticed by Florentino Perez, who greatly values the player's mentality. For the president, there is no greater guarantee of success than a young, talented player willing to give it all to play for Madrid. That is the kind of profile that has made the club great in recent decades. In this context, Florentino has decided that he does not need to enter a salary, offer war, while other clubs bet on astronomical figures to seduce the stars. Real Madrid presents a much more powerful argument. History, the prestige of the Shield, the 14 European Cups, the epic comebacks, the eternal idols. That is what Florentino puts on the table. And with that discourse, he has deeply impacted the player. Musiala has not asked for impossible figures or out-of-place demands. What he wants is to be part of the project, earn his place with hard work, and leave his name engraved in the club's history. This vision fits perfectly with Madrid's current sports model, a model based on intelligent signings, young players with talent and hunger who can develop in Valdebebas, grow with the support of a competitive squad, and reach their highest level without excessive economic pressures. Musiala identifies with that philosophy, so it was not difficult for him to close the door on offers that, although economically superior, did not offer him what he desires most, glory and transcendence. And here is where Madridismo should feel proud because, once again, it is shown that the club not only competes for signings with money, it competes with what very few can offer, a legacy. Florentino knows it, values it, and uses it as his best weapon. It is no coincidence that so many young stars have chosen Madrid in recent years, and it will not be a coincidence if Jamal Musiala also does so. Therefore, dear Madridistas, the question now is not whether Musiala will arrive, but when. And everything indicates that that moment is getting closer and closer. What do you think, Madridistas? Does it excite you to have a player who rejects other giants to fulfill his dream of playing at the Santiago Bernabéu? Isn't he the type of player who deserves to wear our jersey? Because when a talent like Musiala chooses Madrid above all else, the club has already won long before the contract is signed. Leave us your opinion in the comments.